This is a satellite image of one of the fastest growing coal mines in Germany, and it is rapidly becoming Europe's largest hole. It looks like Germany will not stop even if it means destroying everything in its way. Join me in this video as we find out what are the effects of these mines to its neighboring communities and to the environment. Germany has a lengthy history of coal mining going back to the early 1800s. Coal was an important part of Germany's economy during the Industrial Revolution, and large-scale mining began in the 19th century. Today, coal mines are still operating in several parts of the country, though production has declined significantly since the 1950s. Coal mining has always been a risky and dangerous occupation, and accidents were not uncommon. In 1986, the worst mining accident in Germany history occurred at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine, which led to the deaths of over 30 miners. Despite the risks, coal mining continued to be an important part of Germany's economy until the early 21st century. This country has long been touted as a leader in the global fight against climate change, with ambitious emissions targets and a strong focus on renewable energy. However, behind this image of environmental progress lies a disturbing reality. Germany continues to raze villages and destroy entire communities in order to excavate one of Europe's largest coal mines. The Garzweiler mine, located in western Germany near the cities of Cologne and Düsseldorf, is an open-pit coal mine that spans over 5 square miles and extends hundreds of feet into the earth. It is operated by RWE, one of Europe's largest energy companies, which was recently accused by Greenpeace International of having misleading advertising about its transition to renewables. Lützerath. Residents of Lützerath have been fighting against the mine expansion for years, but their pleas have fallen on deaf ears. The German government has repeatedly sided with RWE, saying that the economic benefits of the mine outweigh the negative impacts on the local community. This decision has been met with outrage by many environmental groups, who argue that the Garzweiler mine is a clear example of corporate greed trumping environmental protection. They point out that Germany is not lacking in coal reserves, and that RWE could easily find another source of fuel without destroying communities. The Garzweiler mine is a clear example of the tension between economic development and environmental protection. On one hand, the German government is eager to attract investment and create jobs in the coal industry. On the other hand, it is faced with calls to protect communities and limit the impact of climate change. So far, the government has chosen to side with economic development, but as the impacts of climate change become more evident, it may be forced to reconsider its position. In the meantime, the residents of Lützerath and other villages affected by the mine will continue to fight for their homes and their way of life. This small village has been slowly disappearing as the Garzweiler coal mines continue to raze through the area, destroying communities and the lives of people who have lived there for generations. The deeply destructive effects of these mines are irreparable, leaving families broken and communities destroyed. Despite efforts to halt the destruction caused by Garzweiler, Lützerath continues to be destroyed little by little each day. With its rich history and strong sense of community, Lützerath will be sorely missed by those who call it home. But this loss pales in comparison to the suffering experienced by those who have lost everything as a result of these destructive mining operations. The brown coal. These places are built atop vast reserves of lignite coal, also known as brown coal. It is a low-quality fuel that is cheaper and dirtier than other types of coal. Lignite is also relatively easy to mine, which has made Cologne an attractive destination for mining companies. But there are downsides to this seemingly endless supply of energy. Lignite mines are ugly and destructive. They can scar the landscape, pollute the air and water, and displace local residents. In Cologne, the effects of lignite mining are impossible to ignore. The Hambach Mine, which is operated by RWE, has been in operation for over 40 years. It is currently the largest lignite mine in Europe, and it is still growing. The Hambach Mine covers an area of nearly 30 square kilometers, and it is expected to eventually cover an area of 65 square kilometers. It is so large that it can be seen from space. The mine has destroyed forests, villages, and farmland. It has displaced thousands of people and it has left a huge environmental footprint. Cologne is not the only city in Germany that is built on lignite reserves. There are 12 lignite mines in total, located in the states of North Rhine-Westphalia and Brandenburg. Why is Germany still mining coals? There are several reasons why Germany is keeping these coal mines open. Firstly, there is still a high demand for coal. Many power plants in Germany rely on coal to generate electricity. In fact, coal currently accounts for around 40% of Germany's electricity production. Secondly, Germany has very strict environmental regulations. These regulations make it difficult and expensive to switch from coal to other energy sources such as natural gas or renewables. Lastly, these coal mines are a major source of tax revenue for the city. The mines currently employ around 1,000 people and generate around 100 million euros in annual revenue for the city. The decision to keep the coal mines open has been controversial. Environmentalists argue that burning coal is one of the biggest contributors to climate change. They also point out that Cologne is located in a densely populated area, and the pollution from the mines negatively impact air quality. Opponents of the decision argue that the Cologne coal mines are an important source of jobs and revenue. They also argue that Germany needs to keep using coal until it can find a way to switch to cleaner energy sources without causing an increase in energy prices. What do you think about the decision to keep the Cologne coal mines open? Let us know in the comments below. Enjoying this video so far? Well, don't forget to click the subscribe button below. Subscribe to Technoglobal Innovation now. Russian pressure. Since Russia began exporting oil to Germany several years ago, Russia has used this valuable resource as leverage to pressure Germany and influence its decisions. With Russia supplying nearly half of Germany's total oil imports, German businesses have been forced to follow Russia's lead in a number of important issues, including the rapid expansion of Europe's largest drilling project. Despite widespread opposition from environmental groups and local residents, Germany has shown no signs of slowing down the project. Russia's influence over Germany's oil supply has played a major role in this continued development, as the RWE is eager to please its biggest customer. As the drilling operations continue, it remains to be seen how much longer Russia will be able to maintain its grip on Germany. With alternative resources of oil becoming increasingly available, Germany may soon be free to pursue its own interests without worrying about Russia's response. Environmental damage. The mining of lignite coal can cause soil erosion, water pollution, and air pollution. It can also negatively impact the health of nearby residents. Studies have shown that people who live near lignite coal mines have an increased risk of respiratory problems, cancer, and other health issues. Lignite coal is a major source of greenhouse gas emissions. The burning of lignite coal is responsible for 4% of all greenhouse gas emissions in the European Union. It is also a major contributor to global warming. Lignite coal mining and burning releases carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. These greenhouse gases contribute to climate change by trapping heat in the atmosphere. Lignite coal mining and burning also emits particulate matter, which can cause respiratory problems in humans. Coal mining in Cologne, Germany has been taking place for over 150 years. The Lusatian fields contain one of the largest deposits of lignite coal in Europe and is home to over 500 lignite coal mines. The Lusatian fields are also home to over 1,000 people who live in communities that have been impacted by lignite coal mining. You can assume that there's an increased risk to health for these people. The good news is that there are alternatives to lignite-fired power plants. Renewable energy sources like wind and solar power are becoming more affordable and efficient, and coal-fired power plants can be fitted with technology to capture and store carbon dioxide emissions. But change won't happen overnight. In the meantime, lignite mining will continue to have a big impact on the people and the environment of Cologne, Germany. Cologne's coal mines are a major source of pollution, and the city has been struggling to clean up its act in the recent years. In 2016, Cologne was ranked as the second most polluted city in Germany, and the city has been working to improve its air quality ever since. Renewable energy. Germany is one of the world's leading producers of coal, but now the country is in the midst of a major effort to transition away from coal and become more environmentally friendly. One of the major projects underway is the digging of a new coal mine, which is set to be the largest in Europe. The Cologne coal mine is being converted into a giant pumped storage reservoir that will help store renewable energy. The new mine will replace existing coal mines that have been in operation for centuries, and it is hoped that it will help reduce pollution in the city. The new mine is being built by a consortium of German and Dutch companies, and it is expected to cost around 2 billion euros. It was scheduled to begin operations in 2020, and it is expected to produce up to 10 million tons of coal per year. Cologne's existing coal mines currently produce around 6 million tons of coal per year. When it's completed, it will be able to store up to 8 gigawatt-hours of energy. That's enough to power 1 million homes for an entire day. The Cologne mine isn't the only one being converted into a renewable energy storage facility. There are similar projects underway in the United States, Australia, and China. The new mine is expected to create hundreds of new jobs, and it will also help to secure Cologne's position as a major center for the mining industry. Cologne's mayor, Henriette Rieker, has said that the new mine is a milestone for the city's economy. This is according to Cologne resident and freelance writer Mariella Kraus. Cologne is her home city, and she has a keen interest in its history and development. There are a number of renewable energy options that could provide an alternative to coal, such as solar, wind, and hydropower. And while switching to renewable energy would be a huge undertaking, it may be necessary in order to avoid the worst effects of climate change. This is an important step forward for Germany as it looks to phase out coal and become a leader in renewable energy. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to watch more of our other videos by subscribing to this channel.